are going for a whole hour. Straight dog talk and the song. Jump on in and speculate. Show up on time, don't be weak and late. We are community, so don't hate. And learn to cooperate. Yeah, hit that like button and do your thing. 5 membership will get you in. So let's talk dogs and don't waste no time. Monday 7 p.m. Don't come doing the HATE. Otherwise Hollywood will give you the BYE. Here we go, kill the whistle. Oh yeah, we are going for a whole hour. Straight dog talk and a song. Jump on in and speculate. Show up on time, don't be weak and late. We are community, so don't hate. And learn to cooperate. Hit that like button and do your thing. 5 membership will get you in. So let's talk dogs and don't waste no time. Monday 7 p.m. Don't come doing the HATE. Otherwise Hollywood will give you the BYE.
BYE, what is going on, family? Monday Bully Live. Hey, I had to change it up a little bit because y'all were getting a little too comfortable with 7 p.m. So we made it 7:30 CST just for the night, man. Hey, let me bring my guy up in here. Michael Higginson, what's up, bro?
What's going on, fam?
Hey, man, nothing much. Today we're going to be talking about what causes joint issues in dogs, man. And in particular, the medium-sized to large-sized breed dogs, they have a tendency to suffer from, joint issues at any point in their life. In fact, I was just reading earlier today that 33% of medium to large breed dogs, meaning 1 out of every 3, will suffer some sort of joint injury during their lifetime. Did you ever know that?
It doesn't surprise me. I didn't know the stats though. No.
Yeah. 1 out of 3. And obviously the bigger, and when I mean bigger, I mean like the taller the dog is, there's more torque at the end of each bone. In addition, if the dog weighs more, like if you have a breed like the American Bully, which has a tendency to be more muscular and carry more weight, and other dogs such as, say, for example, Labradors, who with age a lot of times become obese, they end up having very serious joint issues, all of those 3 categories. So I just wanted to throw that out there. We got Billy Watton. I hope I said it right. Watton or Waiting. Here we go. Bikes are live. Yeah. Yes, sir. We're here, Bully Live. There you go, Freddie Strivia. Hello, beautiful family. You got it, Adam Fields. I was actually going to call you tomorrow to talk about this very subject. Well, we're going to be talking about it tonight, man. One of the things that I get hit up a lot on is hip dysplasia. And, you guys know that I do genetic testing on all of our puppies, right? And a lot of times, what ends up happening is people ask me, well, if you genetically test it, then do you guarantee me that my dog will not have hip dysplasia? And my response is, you cannot see hip dysplasia in a DNA genetic test. You just can't, right? Also, the veterinary community is split as to the cause to these joint issues, including hip and elbow dysplasia, which are the most prominent in medium-sized to large-sized breed. What do I mean by this? I mean that they feel that there could be a genetic factor, but you got half of the other community thinking it's not genetic, it's exclusively environmental. And so, I don't want to discard either possibility. I think both can be active, but I can tell you I have seen more times than not dogs with hip dysplasia that were caused from an owner that didn't know any better. Let me give you an example. every time you see my videos, right, where, you know, I whelp litters inside of a kiddie pool. A kiddie pool is plastic. You guys know, I tell you, we usually get 3 kiddie pools, and what we do is we rotate them daily. That way the sanitary conditions inside the pool are intact or clean. Those pools, you see, they're slippery. So when the puppy tries to either push itself forward in order to compete,
Excuse me.
bless you, in order to compete for a nipple or even just walk around, they're slipping around. And when they slip, sometimes the legs go out. And when that happens, that's where you could have issues in the shoulders, issues in the hip. So a lot of you don't realize that what I do is I'll go ahead and put a rug, a little $5 rug, inside of this kiddie pool. This way the puppy actually has traction and they're not slipping around and injuring these joints, right? I can tell you this right now. I've had people tell me, well, I had a puppy, and when it was 6 weeks old, it limped for about 3 or 4 days, but then it went away. He never limped again. Well, I'm going to tell you guys this. That's usually one of the signs of hip dysplasia that you've caused environmentally because of your lack of knowledge or whatever. Because when that puppy at that age, you got to realize that the bone really isn't in the socket fully yet. But that doesn't mean the puppy can't hurt, right? Can't hurt exactly where that ball is going in. If they don't have traction or whatnot, they could actually end up hurting the outside of this. And what ends up happening is by the time the ball goes in the socket, now you have an extra millimeter in there. That extra millimeter is a problem because look what happens when you have an extra millimeter. It's supposed to fit in like this, not like this. Once you have that, you got hip dysplasia. And
I couldn't agree with that more, Raul.
Yeah.
That right there is exactly very, very well put. I would say that it is. Could there be predispositions? Could it be something that can be handed down to a degree? I wouldn't exclude it. Look at that baby girl.
Yeah. Yeah, I brought her here because I wanted to talk to you guys exclusively about what we were saying. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, you're okay. You're okay. Well, she's beautiful, man. I was saying though that, you know, it could be some predisposition, or some things handed down there. It couldn't be excluded as something to factor in. It could definitely be a part of what happens, just like human conditions. But I would say environment is, in my opinion, the stronger of the two.
Yes.
In my opinion, that I would say that those first few weeks of life, all it takes is one little time, man, where that puppy doesn't have good footing, and its little feet are just tight, trying to hold itself up, and it's doing the splits.
Yeah,
Bad deal, man.
It's not going to work right now. Right now, when you see a pup, like when I saw her, when I went over there. By the way, I didn't produce this pup. This pup was produced by 718 Blood Bully Kennels. All right, my dude Calvin White. I just dropped the video, so this is the pup I got.
I'm in love.
We have a tendency, right? I have a tendency. Whenever I'm going to get a puppy, I like to see the bone. Now, honestly, I'm looking at the camera, and I see less bone on the camera than I'm actually seeing live. But
I've noticed that across the board with dogs.
Yeah. My whole point is right now, none of the bones that she has down here, the pasterns, the phalange, none of those bones are actually touching each other. All right. So look at this graphic right here. I got right here on, right above my shoulder. And that's really what you're looking at. So this is one of the reasons why you don't want this puppy jumping off of the couch or doing any of that stuff because these bones right here, they're separated, right? They're not sealed, and they can easily shift, especially when you injure them, right? And the other way that you could actually shift and do all sorts of things with it as well is when you make the puppy overweight. Okay. I can tell you right now, I'm a little overweight myself, and I've been having knee issues. Now, I played football. I used to jump out of airplanes when I was in the Army. Maybe it may be that time is catching up to me, but I am pretty sure if I was able to drop a good 10, 15, 20 pounds, the improvement would be, day and night. And the same holds true with a dog. In fact, more specifically with a dog, because all a dog does is move on its feet, right? This is all they do. So their joints are actually, in my opinion, more important than even humans, because us as hunter-gatherers, we could also fish, for example, if you had a bad knee back in the days when we were cavemen. But dogs, when they were wolves, a limping dog is a dead dog, pretty much. A limping wolf is a dead wolf.
Yeah.
And so, go ahead, stand up, sweetheart. Yeah, she is quite well, she's now, hold on, she just pressed on my computer key, but I just wanted to show a couple of things, and that's the reality of this right here. Look at the separation of the bone. And if you actually touch here, you could actually feel where it's cartilage, and you could feel right here where it's bone, and you could feel the space in between. You could actually feel it, right? So, yeah, definitely when you have a puppy like this, you don't want to have her on a slippery surface. It's the fastest way for you to environmentally hurt her. Mike, do me a favor. Take over for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and put her back.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. There's that illustration, that X-ray photo. It's really very telling, man. And from what I've found in our community, people haven't looked at that type of thing enough. They don't realize that those bone plates take so long to seal, and that it takes somewhere between 20 and 24 months of life before those are actually legitimate joints, and those plates are sealed and joints are intact, and that dog can jump and move and do all it can do freely without being at risk. And it's a tricky thing, and you kind of touched on something there that I wanted to talk about with the weight of the puppy, because we recently learned something different than we've always preached in the past, which is that weight can be good for putting on muscle and putting on mass, but we've always kept our dogs light because of the joints.
Yeah.
So it's a tough time there, and I think it's worth a little more investigation to figure out whether there's a certain age within the parameters of the bone plates not being sealed, within that 2-year mark. Do you put weight on them at 6 months? Do you put weight on them at 3 months? Do you put weight on them at a year and a half? It's because we talked about with bone and stuff like that, they need that weight to carry it to add to their bone density, we discovered, right?
Right.
And
we also discovered that inflammation stops the bone from becoming dense.
And that's really diet.
Yeah, well, not just, through the diet, you could counter the inflammation. So feeding the dogs high omega-3 foods such as sardines or salmon and things of that nature, that's definitely going to help.
Adding turmeric.
Or turmeric, correct, or celery. You spoke about celery at one point. My point is, if you allow inflammation to exist in your pup, then either through injury or weight is going to cause injury, which is going to cause inflammation. Then what that's going to happen is it's going to turn off the genes and the signals to allow the bone to become more dense. The way you counter that is by actually Why you cracking? Miss Christina Higginson. Well, you don't have to worry about pressure jumping off anything. He does the walrus slide. Yeah, that big boy can. He's so big, he gets away with it. That's a good one. We got Travis on time saying, I don't put weight on them till after 2 years old, but they're not underfed. And that's the best thing, dude. If you could just wait it out until they're 2, that's your best shot of having clean dogs, man. Unfortunately, in this community, bro, we can't wait to make a 3-month-old puppy, have 100 pounds. Brayman Bull says most will tell you if your 6-month-old pocket ain't 75 pounds, it's lacking. Yes, most will tell you that. But here's what most won't tell you. Most won't tell you that the majority of the pockets out there that are, in a popularity contest, if you will, those that are hitting 75 or more pounds at 6 months, when you look at them, when they're fully grown, they're east-west. May not be both paws. They may be east-west on one and not the other. May have hip dysplasia, may have elbow dysplasia. Think about it, man. A 6-month-old dog that's the size of a pocket was not meant to be weighing 75 pounds. They do not have the soft tissue to withstand that type of weight, especially not in the short, medium, or even long run.
Well, here's a question, Raul, and this is an analogy that I had talked about with some people before, and I wanted your opinion on it. So it's like you take a guy like Shaquille O'Neal, for example.
Right.
Do you think if he'd have grew up just eating ramen noodles and macaroni and cheese and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, that he wouldn't have been 7'1"? It's in his genetics.
No, he was going to be 7'1". Look, wait, I'll take it back though. It is genetics, but it is environmental as well. So
right,
if Shaquille O'Neal was caged up in a parakeet cage, I promise you he will not get to 7'1".
That's right. So
right?
there can be things that affect it, environmental, but he's got the genes for it. And
Right.
so I've noticed that with dogs, that if the dog's got the genes, if people would just be patient and worry about the dog's joints and protect their
Yes.
soft tissue when they're young, if the dog's going to get big, if his dad's 120 pounds, and he looks like his dad, you're not going to shortchange him. He's going to get big. Just if you just be patient with it. I kept my weight off of Peepaw. He's about 107 pounds right now, and I kept that's about his natural weight. He's not overweight or underweight at all. And I kept him light until he was 20 months old. And man, he runs and bounces around like Tigger, man. He's a big bouncer.
And his front looks great. He's not that ridiculous east-west. You see dogs all, doing this stuff. All that is damaged joints.
It is.
Now, right now, Travis on time is saying, well, not overfeeding and exercise is your best bet, but genes play a huge factor. Well, let's break down what the factors are.
Let's break it down.
Genes are one part of the equation, but so is exercise, and over-exercising can actually cause injury as well. Environmental, right? And sleep, and we're gonna leave that under environmental. So genetically speaking,
well, nutrition would be in there too, huh?
What's that?
Nutrition would be in there too, right?
I'm sorry, nutrition. My bad. Let's start it over again. So we're looking at genes, we're looking at nutrition, we're looking at exercise, and we're looking at environmental, and I'm including rest in environmental, which means genes is playing 25% of this equation. Guys, I proved it to you whenever we did the research on bone density. Look, I'm going to bring it up here real quick. I'm not trying to cram the screen or anything, but I want you guys to see something. Inflammation is the counter trigger to whatever it is that you're trying to trigger. So you may have a dog who has genetic markers for big muscle, right? That's great. As long as bone does not report inflammation, you're going to keep getting muscle. That's how the body, you see, all it is a loop. That's how the body knows you've gone too far. When there's inflammation on the bone, it means you probably got too much mass on you than the body can handle. And therefore, rather than continue producing that muscle mass you're looking for, it's going to stop it. It's going to send it's going to become counterproductive rather than you adding bone. And in fact, once that inflammation effect takes place, those markers that are telling the body make more muscle, now are going contrary to that. When the body stops making muscle for about a good 14 days to a month, then you noticeably are going to see a reduction. And now you're wondering, oh, it must have been that kibble I changed, or it must have been, no, it's none of that. It's the fact that the dog was limping for about a month. And that inflammation and where he was limping was sending the body a response to stop building muscle because it's too much. We can't handle it. You see what I'm saying?
That's the key. You said response, because
yes,
as we talked about in that episode you brought up, it's the inflammation sends a signal to the brain of the dog to say, whoa, don't put any more weight, don't put any more bone, don't put any more muscle on this dog because we got a problem.
correct.
And that's I don't think people really factor that, man, with puppies. I don't. I think they want them to look good for the picture. Say, golly, he's 8 weeks old, he's already 27 pounds, and it's like, yeah, that ain't good.
Well, let's talk about that, because a lot of people are either new time buyers or just need a refresher. The fastest way you make a puppy look fat and big and girthy is feed them dine. Add dine into their kibble. Watch how girthy and fat they're going to look. But as you're doing that, you're also raising all sorts of inflammation red flags inside of that puppy. If you look, I just made a video 2 weeks ago talking about Dine. I got nothing personal against that company. I feel that their product is made for emaciated dogs.
That's right.
I feel it's our community that violates, that abuses that particular product, trying to use it to add mass. One thing is mass, and another thing is muscle, and another thing is fat. And Dine is nothing more than soy oil. Look at the products, right? It's going to tell you it has sugar, it has water, it has soy oil. These are first three ingredients, okay? Which tells you that you're just feeding large amounts of fat and sugar to a dog. Now, let's think about this for a minute.
Recipe for inflammation.
Yeah, let's think about this for a minute. Are dogs, I don't know, were they developed to be up on a tree like a monkey, grabbing mangoes and being able to tell whether they're ripe or not? No. It's one of the reasons why dogs can only see in yellow and blue, because they don't need to know if a mango is orange ripe or yellowish or whatnot. That's not what the dog needs to know. It's almost information that is unnecessary, right? So rather than spending the amount of resources or real estate inside of the eyeball to let the dog see all the plethora of colors, it only lets the dog see yellow and blue so that it could have better night vision. You see what I'm saying, right? So what I'm trying to get at is, why are we feeding sugar to dogs? Now, I get it if a dog is emaciated. If a dog, and you could see every single rib in his body, yeah, man, we need to get some calories into this dog. But a healthy dog, you turn around and you're feeding Dine to it, right? You're damaging that dog. That dog's liver doesn't know what the hell to do. It's just too much sugar. It wasn't meant for that, right? It's almost like feeding a steak to a parakeet. A parakeet ain't going to know what the hell to do with it. Joy Rodriguez says, I have a 6.5-year-old female that's 90 pounds, and I'm not intentionally overfeeding her. She doesn't look like she's heavy, but I ordered some Nuvet for her because I'm worried about her growing so fast. Well, you did yourself a good thing, bro. You did yourself a good thing. And look, it's no secret, and I've sat here and said it 100 times. The only multivitamin we use is Nuvet DS. And when you turn it around, not only do you have the vitamins A, E, and C, but more importantly, you got phosphorus, potassium, zinc, calcium, selenium, the minerals in the right amounts, right, for the dog to be able to build. And then in addition, now mind you, some of the stuff in here actually counters inflammation, like MSM, that methylsulfonomethane, right? That right there is actually an anti-inflammatory. Chondroitin is going to help. Glucosamine is going to help, right? And therefore, we give this to our dogs. I don't remember the last time I've had a dog come up injured due to a soft tissue injury in my yard. And you have seen the mounds. Whenever I do lives or do videos, you see them running up and down, those mounds, some of them even jumping off of them. And, I'm here showing you them every single week, and we got no injuries. There's a reason for that, man. Queen's New Blood says, so true. It's hard to keep a hyperactive puppy still, but a good yard with proper setup for puppies is good to have. And this is true.
It is. Just
this
need
is
to make
true.
sure that you're not making them jump for things that they're playing with. You play with a flirt pole, you need to keep it low.
Yes.
And then, also if you need to make sure that they don't have anything that they can jump up on and jump off of, because it ain't just you, it's them. It's like kids. Kids don't think about falling out of a tree when they climb it. You know what I mean? And
this is true.
The dogs will they'll run up on something and Superman off the top of it, and you're like,
they don't care. They don't know better. In fact, this is a little off subject, but I like to share it with those of you that are watching. I don't know if you guys recall, we used to have an A-frame. And in fact, I just got done talking with my wife today, and we're going to do a mega A-frame for our dogs. But the A-frame, for those of you that don't know what it is, all it is 2 planks, okay, that are lifted up in the air and secured, and the dog is able to go up on one end and down the other. Now, why is that important, Raul? Well, I'm going to tell you right now. When you have puppies all the way up to 6 weeks, puppies have no fear. Okay, they have no fear of height. They don't understand what fear of height is. After that, they will. But if you get your puppies to go up an A-frame before 6 weeks old, you're going to be fine as far as dogs being afraid of height. Now, don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean you're now going to grab a dog that isn't afraid of height and drop it off a 6-story building. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a dog freaking out whenever it goes about a human's eye level height. This is what I'm talking about. And so, yeah, before they're 6 weeks old, puppies don't understand that fear. Afterwards, they do. But if they have experience before the 6 weeks, they're not going to have issues going up and down. Eric Rutherford.
I was going to say, if y'all are interested in that A-frame concept that he spoke of, there's a great video. It's about a tutorial. You can go to the QBN app and go to and search it. And when he built it, he did a video on it. So if y'all are interested in putting one of those in your programs, man, it's available to see.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mike, now that you brought it up, man, let me just go ahead and share the screen real quick. And let me show people the main QBN page, which I believe it's here. Yeah, it's here. Let me go there. And then let me show you guys A-frame. You go in here, you type A-frame, and it should come up. And look, it came up. Now, the video, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing. Here it is. It's all the way up here. That's what an A-frame is. But let me show you guys the short, which I think is going to resume it for you. Another variation to this exercise is using the fur pole as bait.
Results of this workout.
A-frame. There's
We
that
run 'em up
A-frame
and
I was
down
talking
3
about.
minutes
Straight, non-stop. Great exercise for your dogs, by
All
the
you
way.
need is 4
Real
4
cheap.
by
I'm
8.
not going to make you guys watch the whole thing, but you guys get the idea as to what I'm talking about for the A-frame. Hold on. We had a comment here, and I definitely didn't want to skip it, but here we go. Travis saying, I believe genes is the biggest factor with bones, easty, westy, etc. But I've seen it with my own eyes. Travis, let me just tell you this, bud. And again, that's one of those things that is what you see, what it is that you've been able to endure, what you've been able to experience, right? What I mean by that is if you have 2 dogs, one of the 2 is super inbred, he's east-west, the other one is line bred and she's east-west, then more likely than not, you're going to get 100% of the litter east-west. And it's going to be due to genetics because they have compounded this by line breeding and also by inbreeding. However, if you have, say, a full-blown outcross where neither dog has been inbred and you end up with a dog that's east-west, usually he'll start showing it around 6 months. And by the time he's 18 months, he's for sure going to be east-west all the way in. A lot of times, I'm not going to say 90%, but I will say 60, 65% of the time, it's either dietary or environmental, bro. It really is. And you see people out here, man, they just don't know better. They'll put a vest on a puppy. When I ask them, what are you feeding I feed them that pedigree, $20 bag. Okay, what supplement? What supplement? There's your answer. There's your answer. Another thing I wanted to say is, believe it or not, there is a human food in particular that causes inflammation in the joints. And I just found this out today. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys otherwise. I found this out today. And I've actually given it to my dogs in the past. So going forward, I'm probably going to stay away from it. And it's baked potatoes, not sweet potatoes, not the rice, potatoes. They have something in there in particular that actually will cause inflammation for the joints. So if you're feeding your dog potatoes, if you're feeding your dog potatoes, or if you're feeding a kibble that, say, is chicken and potato formula, I'm just throwing that out there, you might want to reconsider changing it up for that reason. Eric Rutherford says, do you think feeding your dog on raw egg a day is bad for them? I don't think so. But I forgot what it was that builds up in them long term that you don't want to be giving it to them every single day. You want to do maybe 2 days in a row, then 1 day off, then again 2 days in a row, 1 day off. I don't recall what it was about feeding them an egg every single day for eternity. Now, remember this. Dogs could actually process cholesterol a lot better than we can. They're carnivores. They're meant to eat meat and eggs and all this and that. But to go ahead and feed that every single day of their, 365 days out of the year, I forgot what it was. But my understanding is there's something in there that's what it could be. It could be a particular vitamin. So let me explain. There's 2 types of vitamins. There's water-soluble vitamins. For example, vitamin C. You can never poison your dog with vitamin C because if you overfeed them vitamin C, they're either going to go into diarrhea and let it out that way, or they're going to urinate it out. Okay? Now, fat-soluble vitamins are vitamins that are stored in the liver. Too much of them can actually cause issues. I'm going to make it easy for you. What are the vitamins that when you double and triple up on, you could actually hurt your dog? Remember this acronym, ADEK, A-D-E-K. Vitamins A, D, E, and K, you can actually build up too much of in your body. All right. So, for example, feeding carrots every day Carrots, everybody knows they're high in vitamin A. So you could actually, I could only imagine you would have to feed a ton of vitamin A, right, to get to that point. But you could actually get it to a point where it becomes toxic for your dog. So just keep that in mind, right? Get their brains to work as well. I'm not sure what he's referring to. Stay Fresh says, to answer the question that keeps going by, the answer is no. I know this because I recently got my boy Hank the Tank's Embark back. Okay, we'll
Kyle
see.
probably knows what they're talking about.
Yeah, me and Kyle, we spoke on the answers of all those questions, and at the end of the show, whoever answered first, you're going to get a free wheel spin and you're going to get a prize. So G-Line Kettle says, Mother Nature always correct. Okay. Oh, always corrects herself. This is true. This is true. Too many root beer barrel looking puppies, says CNO Lopez. Yeah, CNO. And it's unfortunate that the people that are driving the beer barrel looking puppies are usually the people that know least about dogs, right? We're talking about the market in general, right? Like people tuning into QBN, we know in the first 10 minutes, everybody that's up in here, those are our diehards. The people that come strolling in afterwards, those are more of our casual viewers, right? And then those that barely watches once a month, if so, those are usually that general public, which, it's like a 10-to-1 ratio in comparison to, say, our diehards, just to throw a number out there. What's going on, Bully fam? You got it, man. Stay Fresh says, quality Bully Nation. Uh-oh, somebody's trying to get himself a spin. I'm sorry. Yeah. Somebody's saying they're sorry for your loss, Mike.
Yeah.
Miss Holland says, I'm not allowed to answer the questions at the top of the screen because I'm Hollywood's wife. That's right. That's right. She heard me giving him the answers, or he's there. So I'm pretty sure Hollywood is gonna have to give a prize somehow. Queen's New Blood says, I've had a dog that always has muscle tone, never fat, just recently getting some fat on him, reaching 2 right now. Okay, so let's talk about that because that's a good analogy. If you have a dog that always has muscle tone, typically, remember what I said. We're dealing with genes, we're dealing with diet, we're dealing with exercise, and we're dealing with environment. So that puppy was expressing its muscle for a good amount of time. But now that he's turning 2, right? Maybe for the first 2 years, he was like that one person we all know that no matter what they eat, they don't get heavy. And if all I got to do is pass by a burger joint and smell it in the air, and I go up 10 pounds, right? So my whole point is maybe for the better part of those 2 years, that dog could eat whatever. It didn't matter. Genetics was trumping everything. But now we're coming back to that equation where genetics is only 25%. And now diet is also 25% you have to account for, as well as exercise, as well as environment, right? So it will never be just genetics. I've had people hit me up and say, yeah, man, at the end of the day, it's all genetics. No, it's not. And I've brought up, if we had 2 dogs, right? Mike, we got 2 dogs. We got one out here in my yard. He's got 2 acres to run around, jump, do whatever the hell he wants. And we have another one we're going to go ahead and put in a parakeet cage. We're going to feed them both the same. And in 3 months, I'm going to let the one out the parakeet cage out, and I'm going to let the one that's been running out, and we're going to measure them. Mike, do you think they're going to be the same size?
Absolutely not.
So we can't sit here and say it's all genetic.
The one in the cage is probably going to be at more potential risk to get hurt his joints as well.
Well, yeah, but that's environmental because
Right.
Obviously where he's at, he's not running or whatever. But also, just like inflammation,
Oh, yeah.
right? A certain level of inflammation will go against you and not triggering you to develop certain things. not having minimal amounts of inflammation also means, you know what I'm saying? No, we need to put the brakes on this. We can't grow, right? So that is a loop back system for the genes, but what caused the loop back? Environment did. Also, if I have two dogs that are running around and I'm feeding one nothing but raw diet, and the other one is being fed nothing but ramen noodles, we're going to see the difference. It's not all genetics. It's a combination of things.
Yeah, it is. It literally is 25% of those four things for sure.
Yeah, Jordan Rodriguez says, I've never heard a pup grow this fast, but I'm afraid to work her too much and cause trauma, which you probably can. She weighs so much. I have her on raw, and I switched her to the salmon. Okay, members mark and sweet potato that you recommended. That's straight, man. Just try to keep her light if you can. Don't overwork her as far as exercising. Don't let her, be jumping off furniture or anything like that. You should be fine, man.
I think something to add to that, Raul, is, if you look up dietary recommendations for dogs for as far as portions, you can't live or die by that. You have to look at your dog. If they say, well, the dog at this age, this breed, this particular weight, or this, whatever needs this amount of kibble or this amount of raw. Well, if your dog's overweight, then it's too much, no matter whether that's the recommendation or not. And whether that's raw or kibble, you might need to back that down. I know, going by the BARF diet and what it recommends, for pressure, for example, when I was feeding him to the letter by the criteria of that BARF diet, he was putting on way too much weight, way too fast. And I had to kick it down from, 4% to like 2.5% on that protein. Otherwise, he was running away from me quick. And so,
you have to be able to see it. That's why the breeder is the most important component of a yard. If you weren't able to identify that and you would have just followed, feeding recommendations, you probably could have been having an issue right now with your dog, right? But that's why I keep telling people your ability to get in here, get the information, learn, and it doesn't have to be here. You can research it. You can do whatever. My point is your ability and your knowledge is what's going to determine the outcome of your yard. It's almost like a racehorse owner, right? And you have a stable of, say, five horses, and you race the horses and you time them. And there's a horse that's just 3 seconds too slow than everybody else, and more likely you're going to move away from him, so on and so forth. The same goes with the dogs. Being able to see their rib cage, being able to see how they're moving. By the way, that leads me to something that's completely off topic, but I got to say this. So you guys know we recently bred this girl right here, right? This is my girl, Ali. And she was recently bred to this male right here, right? And this is Oso. And this is Hector El Oso right here. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I was pretty pissed off because one of my breedings didn't go down. No fault of ours. It's just when the sperm was shipped, it just didn't work out. Let me just put it that way. But bottom line, I kind of felt that I might have been behind in days with this female. When we did the surgical on her, her progesterone on IDEX was 25, which is no bueno. Long story short, I've been acting like she's not pregnant, because I just figured she wouldn't be.
Felt like you missed the window.
Yeah. And then I'm gone for 2 days. I go all the way up to pretty much Chicago and come back with a new pup. And all of a sudden, this girl's poop is smelling to high hell. Urine is super concentrated. Belly's starting to come in. And now I'm kind of scratching my head. I still think she didn't take, but I'm at a 30% she did, 70% she didn't. But yesterday it was 20-80, and the day before that it was 90-10. So I don't know what to say, man. We're going to be doing an ultrasound here shortly, but when we do, we'll come out and if she is, we'll come out and let everybody know, man. Queen's New Blood, I had a puppy, almost Superman, off a stack table before. I panicked and dived for the pup. Oh, I've done that. I've done that myself. V. Ferreira says, good genetics is the start of a solid foundation. This is true. I cannot go against this. Diet and work you put in helps develop what you can truly build on going forward. I agree. There's got to be a basis of genetics. And the way you maximize it or you don't maximize it is by what you're feeding, what you're exercising, and what the environment is, right? So again, it's all a combination, but I will say the base to everything is definitely genetics.
Well, with the 4 things you talked about, it's when raising a pup, you have to factor in each one of those 4 things and accommodate for each one of those 4 things to balance out.
Yes.
What the pup needs. For sure.
Yes. No, I agree with you totally, bro. You sit here and you overfeed a dog and it's going to look great. Now, look, you got some people that are going to go to a dog show. Let's say I'm going to take a dog to nationals. Let's just say, look, man, you could, if you've never added weight on that dog for the 10 days to 2 weeks prior, you probably can get away with murder and add it. And the dog is going to walk functionally. Everything's going to look good on stage, right? Mm-hmm. Now, when they come off of that dog show, if you keep them at that weight, by the time another month goes by, you're going to start seeing some funky things coming up. It's just a matter of time before the joints start to break down.
I know a lot of people actually do that. You said I know that's pretty common. People, 2-3 weeks before the show, they isolate the dog so that it can't run all its energy off. Keep them put up and feed them twice a day. Up their portions a little bit.
Yeah. Adam is asking, is there a difference between weak pasterns and east-west? If so, can a dog have both? The answer is there is a difference, and yes, a dog can have both. We did a video live here about east-westy, right? A couple of months back. If you remember, there are 3 types of east-west. Okay. One of them has to do with the pastern, but the other one has to do with remember I spoke about the radial tendon and the
shorter
tendon.
or longer.
If the ulnar tendon is shorter, the paw is going to just automatically come out. And that's straight up genetic. You know what I'm saying?
That's what you don't want.
Yeah, that's what you don't want. I forgot what the third one was. If you get a chance, go ahead and look it up.
It was at the shoulder, wasn't it?
Yeah, it starts out at the shoulder and it comes down. And the way it usually works whenever you have some sort of orthopedic issue, it starts. That's why whenever I look at a dog, I look at it from the shoulders on down. So let me give you an example. My boy Fireball, and he's Mr. Perfect around here. At least we like to think he is. Here you go. Let me do this. All right. So if you look at his shoulder, right? Shoulder is where it's supposed to be. Right? He doesn't have the widest chest. This is a classic. This is not an extreme dog or anything like that. But the shoulders, if you notice, he doesn't have too much shoulder. He doesn't have too little shoulder. The shoulders are pretty symmetrical. And then when you come down from the shoulder and you come down to the pastern, you realize the pastern is directly below the shoulder at the top. When you come down to the feet, and let me go ahead and take off that banner for just a second. When you come down to the feet, you realize the feet are in line with the pasterns. The pasterns are in line with the shoulder. It's a straight shot. Okay, it's a straight shot. Let me see if I have let me see if I can show maybe a dog. Okay, one of my dogs that's easty-westy is my boy Congo. Okay, my boy Congo has been easty-westy from day one. Okay. My girl,
so slightly.
But he is. And my girl Aruba, she did a great job. But if you look at Congo's shoulders and you look at the concept I just spoke to you about, you're going to notice there's a slight inclination going in from the very top. there's a slight inclination coming in that you don't see, you will never see on Fireball. Okay, look.
And
Here's
that's his
Fireball.
that's Congo's
Here's
natural stance.
Yeah, here's Fireball with a little bit more weight. Okay. Okay. Now let's go to Congo. Look at Congo's shoulder. They automatically come in ever so slightly. And that millimeter at the very top of the shoulder, by the time it makes it all the way down to the feet, now you're looking at a 1/4 inch to maybe, I don't know, 1/2 inch. And I'm exaggerating if it's 1/2 inch, but I'm just throwing that out there. And that alone is going to cause the dog's paws to open up because he needs to balance himself, right? Because now his paws, they should be here, but because the shoulders are pushing in, now the paws are here. Now when they're here, he needs to redistribute weight. And that's where you get that east-west. All right. So let's see, man. Let's see. Queen says, sorry, meant to finish typing. The setup for the kennel will get their brains to work more. This is true for pups in particular. G-Line, I'll be having an attitude when I miss the show. I love that, G-Line. You might just get yourself a spin. And Sarata says, I'm OFA testing my dogs when they turn 2 years. So far, so good. But it's not a guarantee for next gen, but helps improve odds, I hope. This is true, in Sarata, what you just said. But remember, environmental plays a big part. You're rarely going to find the veterinary community split 50-50 on a subject where they can make all the money if it's all about genetics. And it's not all about genetics. They're saying that it could be environmental. So, yeah, this is part of my, okay, you got it. George Escalade, my American Pit Bully is going to be 10 next month, and he's slowing down a lot. Which one of your products can help his joints the best? My friend, look, my recommendation is both. Let me come over here. My recommendation is both Nuvet and NuJoint DS, and I'm going to tell you why. Remember I showed you the vitamins? Check it out. It's got vitamin A, E, C. That vitamin C there, those 50 milligrams, that's going to help absorption. It's going to help absorption of what this is going to be throwing at it. And this also has vitamin C. But they have been made, these two products have been made so that you can give them together. Okay. Now, this particular product is going to have, glucosamine, which is for the building of joints. Chondroitin, which gives elasticity to the joint. MSM, which is an anti-inflammatory. It's going to help the inflammation and the breakdown process. It's going to make the joint not break down as fast. So it's a combination of things. My recommendation is Nuvet NuJoint DS is what we've always fed our dogs, man, and it's what we're always going to feed our dogs. If you don't know, I'm going to go ahead and give you my ordering code, which is right here. That's my ordering code, 513237. You get 13% off if you go ahead and do auto ship. You could set it up for every 30 days because it says it here, 90 chewable wafers. So one bottle is for 3 months, okay, of Nuvet. And NuJoint DS, this is weight-based, but it brings 120 chewable wafers, right? Because it's double strength. So what I've found is that when you get Nuvet Plus and NuJoint DS, typically within the first 2 weeks, you start seeing some major changes from older dogs to dogs that are east-west. I've had people, say that the changes are miraculous. And in some cases, they could be interpreted that way. But it's not because this is a miracle drug or anything like that. It's simply because the foods that you're currently feeding are just not giving your dog what this can't give it. That's all it is. It's as simple as that. Kyle's letting you know that's my code right there. You can go to nuvet.com, 513-237. Sulema says potatoes can cause inflammation in dogs. This is true. That's what I've stated.
I've always used sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
I was thinking back. We've never put just regular white potatoes ever. The dogs like the sweet potatoes so much. That's what we've always used. So I got lucky there, but that's great to know.
Yeah, no. I have put on potatoes. I have given potatoes to my dogs because I want to reduce the protein content. But now, and again, this is all a journey. I am learning and I'm sharing with you and I'm evolving. So if you ever heard me say 6 months ago, hey, go ahead, if you feed this much to your dog, feed so much potato and so much kibble. Going forward, you're going to hear me say, feed rice or sweet potato, stay away from potato, right? Because this is how we learn, this is how we progress. By the way, D. Taylor just became a new member, none beloved, and turned around and gave a QBN Kennel membership. Kyle, can I hear it?
Pues claro que sí, cabrón.
It's claro que sí, cabrón.
Pues claro que sí,
Hey,
cabrón.
second time is Mike. Go ahead, drop it, Mike.
Pues claro que sí, cabrón.
There
That's
There
pretty
you
good
go.
that time.
That was,
Claro que sí, cabrón.
there you go. There you go,
Oh,
Kyle.
Kyle says it too fast.
Yeah, D. Taylor, you know, man, we're here every Monday at 7 p. Every now and then I'll change it up to like 7:30. Don't get mad at me. RGB says, that's right. RGB says Quango is an XL. We have him in a strict diet with Nuvet as well. He will be 2.5 years old soon, but it's getting scary because he's putting on weight. He will also be getting OFA testing. Should I worry? Honestly, I don't think you should worry because of his age where he's at now. He's not going to do more damage. So the whole socket, ball in the socket scenario, typically when they're puppies, that's when they're able to, kind of wear the socket out. But typically older dogs that haven't developed it, say by the time they're 2.5, they're not going to turn around and by the time they're 4 or 5, now all of a sudden develop hip dysplasia. It doesn't necessarily work that way. Are there going to be always an outlier that does? Of course, but the percentages of that happening are not the highest. Ryan Flippo says, "What's Bully fan behind at work?" So I'm listening. I just got you. You're good, man. Queen's Bully. The reason they call it show weight, only keep it on for a short period. This is why. This is why show weight is not is not the weight you want to keep them on a long time. King Digga, what's going on, man? Number love. Suleyman says Sunshine is a standard class bully. Good shot, Suleyman. That's all I'm going to say. Adam Fields, pues claro que sí, D. Taylor. Renee Boakley just bought your supplements. Not beloved, man. Appreciate you. But it's not just about buying it. It's about trying it out. So do me a favor. Can you come back here in 2 weeks? Take a picture of your dog, maybe today, if you haven't done so yet, and then take a picture in about 2 weeks, and then let's talk about how they've improved, because I really believe in this product. And Sarata says, RGB, I think it's part genetic, part nutrition, part environmental, etc. Weight is a factor too. Absolutely. Shea Tree, I'm the 22nd like. I'm going to share QBN NBL 22 times. So we only got 22 likes up in here. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. It's just horrendous, the amount of likes that we get for the amount of people we have in here. Queen's Bully says that Nuvet is something else. My seven, almost 8-year-old girl is actually like she's 1 ever since she's been put on them. That's just with the regular Nuvet. Also, you haven't even put them on Nuvet along with NuJoint. So you only got them on Nuvet. You haven't put them on NuJoint. Just wait till you do,
man. For the longevity and the quality of life of a dog, especially up in years.
Yeah,
And that's the thing we don't talk about a lot with the combination of Nuvet and NuJoint Plus. But I would be willing to bet anything that when you get up in the upper years, like where Fireball's at right now, Fireball, I'll tell you, he's 8 years old and he moves like he ain't slowed down a bit. He ain't showed his age yet.
no.
And he's taken Nuvet and NuJoint Plus his whole life, and he is a testament to the longevity and quality of life that a dog of our breed can have that late in age.
I agree with that. In fact, today he had the zoomies. 8-year-old dog with the freaking zoomies running around, and this is inside my house, so he's jumping on and off the sofa. He's the only dog I allow to do that, by the way. Don't tell nobody, especially Miss Flindez, because if she hears or watches this, I'm gonna be in trouble. But yeah, man, he got the zoomies today, and I'm over here looking at him. I'm like, dude, you're 8 years old. Like, chill out. No, he's fine. Ryan Flipple says, if I plan to start Nuvet, would you recommend like one tablet each daily for 8-month-old pup? Yes. In fact, when you come to Nuvet, right, when you order Nuvet and you turn it over, up here it's going to tell you if the pup is 5 pounds or more, or the dog is 5 pounds or more, you're going to give them a full wafer. If they're half, I take it back. If they're under 5 pounds, you're going to give half of a wafer. If they're over 5 pounds, you're going to give one full wafer a day. Now, NuJoint DS is going to be,
it's a little different.
Yeah, it's weight based. So depending what your dog weighs is going to determine how many wafers you're going to give. All right. And that's important, man, because anybody just to get you to buy is going to say, yeah, that's all you got to do is just give one a day and walk away and you're good. No, man. The reason NuJoint DS is weight-based is because each particular dog, this stuff has been formulated, and each particular dog, based on their weight, they need the exact amounts. So that's what it comes down to. And Miss Sarah Holland, by the way, Hollywood's wife, says he ate Nuvet and he thinks it's delicious. She says Hollywood loves the blue bottle. Look, Hollywood, I don't want to get involved. Why are you using the blue bottle, man? We're not going to get into that. Not the blue pill, the blue bottle. I get it, man.
Right.
Adam Field says the NuJoint Plus does taste just like chicken. So we have another person that likes the taste of NuJoint Plus. King Digger, me too. We live and we learn. That's it, man. That's all we can do. Live, learn, share, and, you know, what do they say? Wash, rinse, and do it all over again.
Wash, rinse, repeat. Yeah.
Yeah, wash, rinse, repeat. Travis On Time Kennel says regular potatoes is one of diabetics' enemies because it's starch, and starch turns into sugar. Rule of thumb for diabetics, stay away from white food. You're absolutely right. Potatoes, rice, and bread are the number one enemy for diabetics. I agree.
We talked about sugar playing a part in inflammation with dogs. I bet that's why the potatoes are causing inflammation, because they turn to sugar.
Yeah, that's also in part. Yeah. No, you hit it on the head. Shade Tree says, I want some CBD. Would you please bring that up? Thank you. Yes, let's bring up Regal Choice. Regal Choice is our CBD sponsor. And man, let me tell you something. I can't believe I haven't brought them up, because I'm actually using this almost on a daily basis, because my boy Fireball, now that he's 8 years old, he's never had separation anxiety, but now I don't know if it's separation anxiety or he's simply spoiled. But either way, when I'm getting ready to go, he'll get onto barking and whatnot. And so what we do is we have these pet tinctures. Here you go. Pet tincture. The one he likes is the chicken flavor one. Here you go. Roasted chicken, right? And just so you guys know, price is $39.99. But if you do auto ship, you get a discount. Additionally, whenever you order something, say I was to order this pet CBD, I go ahead and add it to my cart. And okay, boom, 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 it's there. So we're going to go ahead and view cart. And when you're getting ready to check out, you're going to have this coupon code, which is QBNK 911. Apply the code and look what happens. Boom, you got yourself a nice little $2 discount. Okay. Plus, if you do the auto ship, you will be getting additional discount. By the way,
if people want to order any of these products, are they available in the app?
They're not available on the app per se. You got to go to regalchoice.com.
Is the information about the code and stuff in there for if people want to look it up? If not, they need to screenshot it, is what I was thinking.
Yeah, you're going to have to screenshot it. I'm going to go ahead and add it to the store that we have in the app, but you are going to have to screenshot it. It's just QBNK 911. It's that simple, guys. QBNK 911. You're going to get a discount. Plus, in addition, if you do auto ship, you're going to get an additional discount. Also, if you spend over I want to say 200, but I could be wrong. Let me go back. There you go.
I thought it was 100.
If you go to the very top, it says free shipping on orders $150 and $75 for subscribe and save. Subscribe and save is auto ship. So if you're spending $75 or more on auto ship, it's going to be free. And if you're not doing that, then you got to spend $150 and it's going to be free. Now they have all sorts of products. They have Delta 9 gummies, if that's what you're into. They got nootropics, which is mushrooms, if that's what you're into. If you're into the THCA flower, regardless which state you're in, they're able to ship to you legally. And they have just about every and anything that you're asking for and in the amounts that you're asking for. So if you need pet CBD or you need something for sleep or anything like that, make sure to check out Regal Choice QBN K911. Get yourself a discount, man. It's really that easy.
I like the CBD. Whenever I know I'm going to have a bunch of company, like holidays and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it gets them. It takes my dogs to a nice, happy place, calms them down quite a bit. Give it to them several hours before everybody gets here, and then probably 3 or 4 hours before, and then I dose them up a little more right when people are starting to show up.
July 4th, December 31st, fireworks.
I wonder if we could put a link for that in the app where people could go to the link where it's
that's what I can do. I could definitely set that up, man. You guys know, look, we drove to basically Chicago.
15 and a half hours.
Yeah, front and back. And maybe some young buck is good to go. I've been recovering this whole weekend, man. I ain't gonna lie.
I think she was worth it. Look, go ahead and add in what you did after, because you came straight back, did the Friday evening,
yes,
the live, and then came back that night and did the midnight live.
And then I slept pretty much all Saturday. Yeah. And then to make matters worse, today, out of all dogs, my girl Aruba got bit by a snake. The second time one of our dogs gets bit by a snake. This time it was a copperhead, and we seen it, which was a good thing, because once we got there, we said it was a copperhead, so she got the anti-venom, and we're good to go. We're so good to go that I'm not even stressed. By the time we got home, it sucked because I had to be there an extra, 3.5, 4 hours there. By the time we got here, zero inflammation. She's good to go. She's like, nothing happened. When she got here, she was looking at me like, where's my food? So, but yeah, man, things happen always. Brayman Bull says, sunshine is a pocket. That's a good shot. That's a good shot, Brayman. We'll find out at the end if you're right. Shay Tree says, my daughter's going to college to be a nurse. All right, congrats on that. She says that giving my dog garlic is toxic, and we just got an argument over it. Well, tell you what, Miss Shay Tree, and I know how to speak nurse because I'm a nurse myself, right? So tell your daughter that, and this is what's being taught in schools, it's evidence-based nursing. So use it against her and tell her, since you do evidence-based nursing, do yourself a favor and find the actual experiment that was done in a university in Japan where they actually fed the dog 13 cloves of garlic. And then you tell me if that is evidence-based, because I don't care what. If I was to give you right now 13 cloves of garlic, I'm pretty sure something's going to happen. You might have kidney failure by the time you're done. I'm just saying. All right. So just throwing that out there. Shay, you got it, Miss Cynthia Godwin. Number love. Shay says, I can say the same. Nuvet brought my senior citizen back to her puppy years as well when she was alive. There you go. D. Taylor, any new tips on strength training for tendon and long-term health? Like how as humans we stretch and do band work or push-ups, calisthenics. Anything like that for dogs 1 to 2 years old to strengthen the rear? Yes, absolutely. If you look, if you've seen our videos in my yard, I still have a goat ramp. And on the right side, rather than having it like when I made it originally, and a goat ramp is nothing more than this thing that you put a wooden plank and the dogs jump on the plank, then they jump on the top, then the plank, and then they go down. So I had to stop that because I actually started getting dog injuries years ago. So instead, the goat ramp now is like this. And so now they're able to literally go up a ramp, right? And that ramp is low stress on their joints, and it's strengthening the rear because that's what they're pushing off of to go up there. The other thing that is phenomenal for any type of soft tissue work for dogs is water exercise. So if you have a pool, you have a water pool or whatever, you could literally throw a puppy into a water pool and let them swim, and it's not going to hurt them ever in any way. And all it's going to do is strengthen their joints, their muscles, just about everything.
It's good for their courage too.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Miss Freddie Stravia says Sunshine is a classic. And that's a good shot, Miss Freddie. We'll find out at the end. RGB says, I can testify how good Fireball is. I seen him get the zoomies when he was with us. Doesn't show his age. Okay, there you go. That's right. When you came here once, he had the zoomies right there in front of you. Yeah, he gets the zoomies once a day, which is hilarious because back when he was a pup, I don't recall him getting zoomies that frequent. And now he gets zoomies every freaking day. Every day he's coming up with a new trick. It's almost like, I don't know, it's almost like I have a new dog. But the reason he's able to do these things in reality is because he's healthy, he's enjoying life, he's at a good weight. He's not dealing with arthritis, he's not dealing with pains, none of that stuff. You know, Fireball he's a happy-go-lucky dog because of that.
I was out before the show. I was letting my dogs out, and Freya, which is your Ali's litter mate that I have, she is so fast, buddy. And I tell you, when she stretches out, when she really opens up, which when I let her out, she's gonna, and I've got a pretty good bit of property out here. She's gonna make one big lap, at least about a couple acres. And she gets so low to the ground and stretches her feet out when she runs. So, I mean, really pulls. You can just see her agility, man. And we've been taking Nuvet and NuJoint here all their lives for over 2 years now. And so I really feel like it plays a big part in their agility and their ability to be comfortable at high speed. And they get around so well, and some of that is genetic and some of the other factors too. But I do think it makes them have that good energy and they trust their bodies a little better.
Oh yeah, they definitely do, because if they ever have an injury, I could tell you they don't trust their body like they did before, and they'll start being cautious about it. So no, you're absolutely right on that. Let's see here. Sunshine is a pocket, says Miss Shade Tree. All right. Chlorine can be bad for dogs, so be careful where you let your dog swim. Absolutely. Chlorine can cause bone cancer in dogs, guys. Zoomies are my favorite. Sunshine is a standard with a one N, one I, so she can produce XL if bred to XL, so you can get more standard pocket conformation, but an XL frame. Detailer, you going deep. Talking about Sunshine is a NI. Hold up, man. You got me questioning myself right now because I don't remember her being an NI, man. I'm sorry, bro. I got to go check it right now because you got me. It's so many dogs. I can't keep up with all of them, obviously. But here, let's take a look at a little old Sunshine over here, right? And here she is, Koya 20. Let's go to great summary traits. We're gonna go all the way down and what? Oh, okay. My bad. I went too far. Here it is. She's a double I. She's a double I, man. I was a little concerned there because I was like, man, Detailer knows more than I do about my own dog. She's a double I. Renee Buckley says, I think people are taught dogs can't have the alum family, which is onion, shallows, and garlic. And I think you're right. I think that's what they're taught. Not only that, they're lazy. If you go into Google and that's what you look up, that's the first answer you're going to get. Either way, let me bring in Hollywood up in here because I really want to find out who our winners are. Hollywood, what's going on, Hollywood? I can't hear you, bro. You're nice and mute. Okay.
Got you, bro. Got you.
Okay.
I just had to take care of a few things. Ready to go.
Okay,
Let's
man.
see.
Who you got?
So,
Who's the first? Who's the
I
first
don't
winner?
think so. Look, the first thing I did was after you had mentioned stuff, I started bringing it up on the screen, and I don't think a lot of people even noticed or paid attention to the first couple of questions because I had a
Really?
NA the first one, and then Zalima answered wrong for the female, the 40%, which the
Okay.
question was
Go
40% of
ahead.
medium large breeds will suffer from joint pain in their lifetime, and it is false.
Can you put the question, the band, can you put the there you go on the ticker. So
Yes, sir.
and I gave the answer on purpose, man. So Sulema, you got ahead of yourself because I actually gave the answer. And it's
I waited
true or
till
false.
you talked about it before I brought it up to the screen.
All right, true or false? 40% of medium large breed dogs will suffer from joint pain and issues in their lifetime. That is incorrect. We had said 33%, 1 out of every 3 dogs. All right, so
Yes, sir.
give me the winners, man. Who do we got?
The winners so far is the Sunshine being a pocket was Brahman Bull.
Brahman Bull, definitely.
He was
There
the
you
first
go,
The
Brahman.
answer.
question across the bottom. I like that.
We spinning it. Oh,
Oh.
Brahman Bulls, man. Jeez, Brahman. All right, man. Keep hacking away, bro. That wheel, for some reason, tonight is already starting off on the wrong foot. Anybody else that won, Kyle?
Let's see. The inflammation question
Okay. Who got it right?
was Brahman Bulls was the first to answer, and then Zulima got it next.
But who got the answer correct?
Both, but Brahman was the first to answer.
Okay, so Brahman is going up again. Here we go. Brahman.
I got
Here we
a
go,
good feeling
Brahman.
this time.
Here we go. Oh, there. Stop. Oh,
Nope.
man. Brahman, you've been playing too much lottery, man. You're using up your luck, man. All right. What else we got?
All right, QBN, Miss Frida Strevy. She got it right.
What was the question? Can you put it on the ticker?
Yes, sir. What does QBN stand for?
What does it stand for?
Quality Bully Nation.
There you go, Miss Freddie Strevia. Here we go, Quality Bully Nation. All right, here we go, Miss Freddie. Oh, she got it. She got the beanie. Oh, man. You got close. Miss Fredia. Any other winners, Kyle?
Nobody else, man. Nobody else answered, and there was a few that answered that weren't members, so I couldn't do anything.
Well, guys, for those of you that are
Well,
not members,
my wife said she answered, but I told her no.
all right. Miss Queens, you got your beanie today. Nothing but love, Queens New Blood Kennel. Nothing but love. Appreciate you. Listen up, guys. If you're not a member, for as little as $5 a month, you can be part of this conversation. And these things like these wheel spins and things like that also become part of you. Obviously, I can't be giving wheel spins to non-members because then members are going to look at me like, hey, why am I paying you? You see what I'm saying? So either way, man, we pretty much hit up on joints. We've covered quite a few things. I'm sure there's always 1 or 2 things that were left out. But bottom line, weight, or better yet, genetics, nutrition, exercise, and environment all play a part. I'm bringing up my dude, Hollywood. What you going to say, Hollywood?
Just wanted to let everybody know that I know Miss Inserata says she didn't see any questions, but this whole time everybody's got to pay attention to what I'm doing on the screen. You see this yellow ticker that's going across the screen? I've been putting questions there the whole live.
Yeah.
Just to see, if anybody would notice, if they would want a free spin. And I didn't mention anything. I just wanted to see if anybody would come up on board. And some people seen it, some people didn't. So definitely pay attention during the live and see what's going on. And you never know what you might get or what we might be doing. So just pay close attention.
Well, you got it. Hey, Queen's New Blood is saying if you're not a member, next live, 2 people might get a membership on Friday. I'll be gifting memberships. Nothing but love,
Hey,
man.
there
I
you go.
appreciate it. Yeah, I like the questions game, says Zulema. All right, Hollywood, start them up,
You
man.
got it. It's your boy Hollywood Holland, your boy in the back of the queue, and we're catching you on the next one.
Michael Higginson.
Boom!
Hey, QBN Kennel out of Arkansas, man. Had a great time this week, y'all. And everywhere we go, man, people talk about the education that we have far exceeds our years in breeding, and we got it right here at QBN, baby. Be catching y'all on the next one.
Ah, there you go. Hey, you already know. We do this every Monday at 7 p. CST. We also go live on Friday at 7 p. CST and then at midnight. Hey, last midnight talk we had, it got a little wild up in there. I'm not going to lie, but it was very fun. Either way, spit roll from the queue. I'll be catching you on the next one.
Here we go. Kill the whistle. Oh, yeah. We are going for a whole hour. Straight dog talk and the song. Jump on in and speculate. Show up on time, don't be weak and late. We are community, so don't hate. And learn to cooperate. Yeah, hit